So hello members of the class, this is a group 2 of history presentation. So group 2 history presentation, and under it we are going to talk about the topic of citizenship. So first let me introduce the members of the class of the presentation, or the presenters themselves. So first we are having Chanda Enoch, we are also having George Kaloma, we are having Sharon Etienne, we are having Karen Bohr, we are having Joseph Lekesa, we are having Rono Naikuran, we are having Kipkemboi Silas, then we are having Davis Chacha, we are also having Peter Opio, we are also having Weldon Kipchichir, and lastly we are having Evelyn Karimi. So from here I'm going to take you through the first topic pertaining citizenship. And that is ways of becoming a Kenyan citizen. So what are the ways? What are the ways of becoming a Kenyan citizen? First one is by registration. So what do you mean by this point? We mean that once you are a Kenyan citizen, you come, either you are an alien person or a foreign person, you come to Kenya, or you are born in Kenya. Upon being born, you have to be registered, or if you come from a certain area, a certain country, then you come to Kenya, you find that there's a certain limited period that you are given, of which if you exceed that period, then it means that you are supposed to be registered as a Kenyan citizen. Normally it's 7 years. Then after that, you are supposed to be legally registered as a Kenyan citizen. So that's through registration by means of acquiring a Kenyan citizen. So second point is by birth. You find that all people who are born in Kenya are assumed to be Kenyans. And as a result, when you are born, immediately when you are born, you are normally being registered as a Kenyan citizen. So as you grow and you are born in Kenya, you acquire citizenship so that you can become a Kenyan citizen. So apart from that, we are also having becoming a Kenyan citizen through naturalization. What do you mean by this? We mean that when you are born in Kenya, but either the parents or father or mother is not known clearly, then you find that you are supposed to be given a legal documents showing that you are a Kenyan citizen, especially when you are young. This kind of situations occurs when a child is born in Kenya and the parents, either he or she is having a parent, composed of the mother only or the father. In that case, you find that he or she is supposed to be legally given the documentation pertaining citizenship of Kenya. So as a result of that, anybody who passed through this stage or this process has to acquire Kenyan citizenship through naturalization. So that's what we mean by naturalization. So from here, I would like to welcome the next presenter to take us through.
I'm going to proceed from where my colleague has reached. I'm going to take you through revocation of Kenyan citizenship. I'm going to take you through revocation of Kenyan citizenship. Revocation of Kenyan citizenship refers to situation that can lead to one losing his or her citizenship. Firstly, a Kenyan citizen can lose his or her citizenship through fraud. This occurs when an individual gives false information during application of Kenyan citizenship. The second point is that a Kenyan citizen can lose his or her citizenship through renunciation. This occurs when one's citizenship is renounced. Third, a Kenyan citizen can lose his or her citizenship through Kenyan citizen can lose his or her citizenship through disloyalty. This occurs when one involves himself in activities such as terrorism, which are against the laws of the country. The last point is that one can lose his or her citizenship when he acquires through acquisition of citizenship of another country. This is against the law of the country when one acquires citizenship of another country without the consent of his or her country. I'm going to welcome the next speaker to proceed from where I've reached.
Okay, I'm going to take you through the rights and freedoms of a Kenyan citizen. And point number one is that you have right to equality. I think this point means that we should avoid discriminating other people. Each and every one of us have equal access to be it health facilities and any other resources in this country. We should not be discriminated maybe because you're not learned or you are illiterate or not. I think all of us must have a right to have equal measures of everything in this country. And then another point, we have it that right to vote. All Kenyans have right to vote. To exercise that is a duty of each Kenyans to exercise their right to vote by choosing the leaders whom they feel suits them actually. So each and every one of us as a citizen of Kenya should exercise a right to vote. Another point is that you have a right to education. You can see most of the government, every government in Kenya since 2002, we find that they introduced the free primary education. They want to ensure that each and every children in this country have acquired a right to education, have access to education in whichever way. Again, another point is that we have right to free press. In Kenya, we have been allowed by the Constitution to express ourselves the way we want it, in whichever way. We should not be limited by anything. Unless one is sick, you cannot talk, you cannot express yourself. But if you have that energy, you have the right to express yourself in whichever way you want. So it's a right which is in the Constitution. Again, another point is a right to own property. Each and every one of us have a right of owning property in this country. It does not matter in whichever part of the country you are in. What matters most is that you have that right to own the property. That can be in terms of land, in terms of building, or in whichever way.
Right to privacy. Every citizen have a right to private life in their homes and whatever places. Second, freedom of conscience, religion, belief, and opinion. Every citizen have a right to their religion. They have a right to choose their religion, whether Muslim, Christian, or SDA. Also, we have a right to assembly, demonstration, picketing, and petition. Every citizen has a right to assemble in public gathering and demonstrate. We also have a right to life. Every citizen has a right to life. Every citizen has a right to live. Also, we have a right to fair hearing and trial. Every citizen have a right to be heard by the court before being jailed. Welcome the next presenter.
So from here, I would like to take you through rights to freedom of movement and residence. According to the Constitution, there's a provision of the rights to freedom of movement and residence. So each and every Kenyan is allowed to move freely without any restriction to wherever area that he or she wants to go to, and also reside, not only to move, but also to reside in any part of Kenya. So there's no restriction in whichever part that you want to move to and reside. So that's a provision by the Constitution or the guarantee by the Constitution for each and every Kenyan. So the next point that I would like to actually explain is the right to work and fair wages. So whichever specialization that you have acquired or you are you have found yourself in whichever sector. We are having various like education, economics, finance, management. We are having technology area. All these areas, we are having one right that cuts across them: right to work and fair wages. So it means that you are supposed to be paid as per your value in the workplace. You are supposed to be paid as per the hour or the rate of your work, and you're not supposed to be denied any portion of the cent that you worked for. And this point also proves that every Kenyan citizen is entitled to the same provision of the rights to work and fair wages in whichever kind of the sector that you are interested in. So the next point that I would like us to get our attention into, the right of association. So each and every Kenyan is allowed or guaranteed by the Constitution to associate with each other, irrespective of the tribe where you are coming from, irrespective of the race that you are coming from. You are guaranteed to associate. Associate means that you are guaranteed to intermingle and also actually to discuss whatever the issue that you want to discuss with another person from another tribe, another person from another culture, another person from another race or color. So that provision is provided by the Constitution. So the next one that I would like us to also get clearly is the right to freedom of expression. So each and every Kenyan is guaranteed to express their opinion wherever and in whatever way that they would like to express themselves. So as a result, we are having the right to freedom of expression. So nobody is supposed to limit you on the view that you hold in yourself that you like the public to hear. So apart from that, we are also having right to freedom and security. You are free to have the security, to be secured in terms of your properties and in terms of your life yourself. So it means that when you are guaranteed the freedom of security, it means that the government is having the responsibility to protect each and every Kenyan based on their security and in terms of their all-rounded social perspective or all-rounded life perspective of each and every individual. So that one is very clear and articulated in the Constitution of Kenya as a result of that. So another one, we are having right to human dignity. Human dignity means that the value that you hold in yourself should also be given attention to, and also should also be given keen observation to. Especially, you are not supposed to be mistreated in any other way. Recently we've been recording a number of abuses in terms of social dignity of human beings and also other perspective of life which has already been mistreated or mishandled in terms of human life. So we are entitled to be given a dignity of life. Human beings need to be given a dignity, the respect that we deserve as per our uniqueness, the way we are created. provided that you are a Kenyan citizen, irrespective if you are disabled or you are able. All of us are equal before the law and the constitution itself, so that we can all be respected. So another one, we can talk about the right of access to information. So like now we are accessing the information, being that we are in school. What does it mean? That we are having a right to access whichever the information that we like to gather, so that we can be enlightened, so that we can become aware of how the world is running, or where the world is heading to. So information itself is a powerful tool for a citizen to acquire, and the result of that, the right itself is guaranteed and articulated in the Kenyan constitution. So apart from that, we are having the right to use of language and culture of one's preference. Recently, if you go to Nairobi, we are having the evidence of Sheng language. So Sheng language, as per its origin, is guaranteed by the constitution, provided you can communicate and you can be heard clearly, and you can have a sense of understanding between each other. The language that you use doesn't matter. So each and every Kenyan citizen is given or entitled to use whichever the language and culture. Culture here means that the way of life as a result of where you come from. We are a mixed up groups or tribes of or community, if you say if to say so, and be fair enough. We are having a mixed up of communities in Kenya. As a result, we are having diverse culture. So when you meet in a certain place, you are not restricted to abandon your culture. Rather, you are supposed to actually demonstrate your culture the way you like it, the way you want it, so that we can promote the cultural values of Kenya. So apart from that, we are having the right to economic and social rights like health, housing, food, water, social security, and education. All these ones are basic needs. Some of them are basic needs. Basic needs. For example, housing, food, water. Nobody can live without housing. Nobody can live without, unless you are an insane person. Nobody can live without food. Nobody can live without water. So apart from that, we are also having secondary needs here as included in the same point. So all of them are entitled to Kenyans to have a right to own and also acquire, especially economic and social rights perspective. So that one is also given by the constitution itself, and each and every citizen is guaranteed to own those, especially education is very, very important. So apart from that, we are having consumer rights. Consumer rights here means that any goods that is brought in the market is meant for sale, and and as a result, the goods themselves are intended to be sold to the consumer. Consumer, those people are buying those goods. So if any case the goods are spoiled, for example, the good is spoiled, and the consumers not recognize it or notice it instantaneously, you find that later on, it is guaranteed in the constitution as per the consumer rights to complain against the spoiled goods, or if any case there's a unfair pricing of goods in the markets, which is not provided as per the, for example, as per the Central Bank of Kenya or the South System in other countries, you find that you are supposed to complain of unfair pricing because we live in capitalistic state. So that one is also a point to notice under the rights of a citizen as stipulated in the Constitution of Kenya. Apart from that, we are having political rights. So political rights means that we are guaranteed to have choices based on our interest on political parties. Especially, some of us might be in Order, some of us might be in ODM, some of us might be in Chap Chap, some of us might be in Wiper, some of us might be in I don't know, the rest of the political parties. So you are supposed to choose the political parties as per your own interest. Apart from that, you are also given the guarantee, we are also guaranteed to demand your rights and space to even become a politician in the same country, because you are a citizen and you are also entitled to that. So these ones are very, very important points under the provision of the rights as per the Constitution. So apart from that, we are having freedom of the media. The media itself, for example, we are having various kind of broadcasting media conventions, like we are having Citizen KTN, KTV, TV24, and the rest, which are localized in our communities. So these ones are given the guarantee to give or air any information, be it negative or positive, irrespective of how the government is handling the citizen. They are supposed to air the negative and positive side of the government and also citizen at large. So this is a medium of information, of communication actually, and it should be free so that we can air our grievances. We can also talk about something that we feel are ill motive, and if we are interested and actually want to thank the government for the same, we can also use the same media to air the positive views.
Okay, I'll be taking the responsibilities of a Kenyan citizen. The first one is to obey the law. Every Kenyan citizen should obey the law, in that any law set by the government should not be broken in any way. Number 2 is to protect the law. Every Kenyan citizen should protect the law by reporting the lawbreakers to the relevant authorities. For example, reporting any lawbreaker to the police or the DCI. The third point is participating in democratic processes. Such processes include voting, public barazas, and inyata. Also, a Kenyan citizen should always maintain valid documents. Such documents include examination papers, Kenyan ID, passports, and many others. Such documents should never be forged at any time. Also, the Kenyan citizen should always participate in public meetings, either political or economical meetings. Barazas should also be attended by the Kenyan citizens. Responsibilities of Kenyan citizen. The first economic responsibility. First of all, allow me to say that when I talk about economic responsibility, you should understand that economy is the backbone of a nation. For the prosperity, for the progress of a nation, it needs economy. If the economy is favorable, that means the nation can easily progress or prosper. So number one, it's that any Kenyan citizen is mandated to do or to pay tax and to honor the contract signed in good faith. Let me speak about payment of tax. There are different and many criteria under which tax is being paid. So any Kenyan citizen, you should ensure that you are paying tax, and this it should not be in a forceful manner. You should understand that payment of tax is mandatory for any Kenyan citizen. So payment of tax will enhance prosperity of the nation. Another point is provide for their children upbringings. You are a parent, you are a guardian. You should ensure that your children, your kids are well, parented. That is, you provide for them food and other basic commodities that they require for their growth. Another point is that participate in development activities.
Yeah, there are several developmental activities that you as a Kenyan citizen you're supposed to, to chip in. For example, you're supposed to chip in business. For example, in road construction in a nation to ensure that the nation itself is prospering. When you do such a like thing, you are really showing what we call patriotism. So you should ensure that you are participating in development of activities in a nation. Another point is that protect the environment. Protect the environment. When we talk about protecting the environment, is that there is something that you're not supposed to do. For example, cutting down of trees. That is what you call deforestation. Uh, Deforestation is not allowed. As a citizen of this nation, you should not cut down trees, but you are supposed to encourage others and you yourself in planting of more trees to ensure that the environment is favorable for this nation. Another point is that to fight corruption. Yeah, Kenya is a country that corruption has developed much. In when you consider those years, the past 5 years, corruption has in its high peak. So you, as a Kenyan citizen, you're supposed to fight this corruption by doing what? If you realize that someone is corrupt, you are supposed to report this person to the nearby police station, even take him to court if possible. This is a way that you can, fight this corruption. We need to minimize or rather ensure that, corruption is not, continue in our nation. That I want to speak about is now allow me to talk about now social responsibilities of a Kenyan citizen. Yes, social. I was talking about economic. Now I'm in social responsibilities of a Kenyan citizen. Number one, remember when we talk about social responsibility, we're talking about social activities that can enhance, the community or the nation to prosper at large. So number one is the taking care of vulnerable. Vulnerable. When we talk about vulnerable, who are these vulnerable? Number one is the needy, the poor, the orphans. These people that we are living with in our communities. These that are needy, yeah, they don't have what to eat. These that are very, very poor, pauper people in our humble people in our communities. We are supposed to provide for them. You have food, you're supposed to share with them. Another things we are supposed to help them. For example, the orphan, they don't have clothes, they don't have house to sleep. You're supposed to build as a Kenyan citizen. When you see such a people in your community, you're supposed to help them so that they can feel that indeed they are Kenyans too. Another point is promote gender sensitivity. Yeah, we are talking about equality in terms of gender. A male and a female should be treated equally. You should ensure that at least, for example, if there is you should ensure that there is no mistreat. Let me talk about mistreat of a certain gender. For example, the dominance of what we call, male rejuvenism should not be there in our nation. So we should stand to promote and to fight against, male rejuvenism in the nation. Another thing that I would like to talk about is that promote good health practices. Promote good health practices. There are many ways in which you can promote good health. For example, you ensure that there is hygiene. When we talk about hygiene, is what you are doing. For example, you visit a place like where you are getting your water from water sources. There you go and do some cleanness to ensure that those places are very clean. That at least this one will promote good health in a nation. Another thing is help in emergency of disasters. We talk about disasters. We talk about disasters like flood has occurred. You are supposed to help. People have been destroyed. Their properties have been destructed. You are supposed to help these people in such an occasion. Another point is promote positive value in the society. Positive and moral value in the society. We talk about positive and moral value. For example, you as a citizen of this nation, you are going to stand to protect early pregnancy. You're supposed to stand and protect and prevent what you call early marriages. Yeah, that is enhancing positive value in the society, good moral. Yeah, like you realize that people are doing, people are stealing from others, you're supposed to go to these people, you try to advise them as a Kenyan citizen to ensure there is positive value and moral development in our societies. I think I shall reach there. So allow me to welcome the next presenter to continue from where I have reached.
Okay, allow me take you through the values of a good citizen. And point number one, we have it that a good citizen should show patriotism and national pride. When you talk of patriotism, we mean that patriotism is just the act of feeling of attachment and commitment to a country, nation, or political community. And when you talk of nationalism, now here we are talking about the loyalty of a citizen to his country. Now, a Kenyan citizen should be somebody who shows love and pride to the people of Kenya, to the nation of Kenya, to the culture and heritage of his country. You should not be somebody who does not embrace the love of his country, or be somebody who now feel like he does not deserve to be in that country. If you are a Kenyan citizen, you should show national pride and patriotism. Another point we have it that national unity. A good Kenyan citizen should work or strive towards bringing people together. For example, you find in this country, the government is trying each and every time, whichever government which ascends to power, they try by all means to bring all people together, to bring all people from different diversities together, to ensure there's national unity. You find even in their campaigns, in their manifestos, everything they do, they're striving towards bringing people together in a sense that the Kenyans now can tell, they can see that now they are in that government, even though they did not vote for that government. Another point is that a good Kenyan citizen should adhere to the law and regulation. When you talk to the law, a good Kenyan citizen should be somebody who should know or who should understand the benefits of being in a lawful nation. Hence, they should strive towards adhering the law, being obedient to the law, not being found in the wrong side of the law in whichever time. Another point we have it that they should participate in democratic activities. When we talk of democratic activities, we talk of things like voting. A good Kenyan should participate in voting activities to elect the leaders of their choice. So it's a right, it's a value of a good Kenyan citizen. If you want to be a good Kenyan, so don't be somebody who is being pushed to go and vote during election time. Because if you're such a kind of person, then it seems you don't know or you don't deserve to belong to this.
So, in conclusion, we discussed a lot of pertaining citizenship and the way to acquire citizenship, the revocation. We talk about revocation. We talk about the responsibilities, especially the social, political responsibility and economic responsibilities. We've also talked about the rights of a citizen. If you are a bona fide student, if you are a bona fide citizen of Kenya, we've talked about the rights that you are entitled to enjoy as privileges, and all these ones help us to enrich our knowledge and become aware of Kenya, how Kenya is operating, and also help us to become good citizens as students and also as regular people who are outside there. As a result, I would like to pause, and this marks the end of our discussion or presentation. I would like to appreciate all the presenters who have devoted their time and effort to actually make this thing possible, and also the viewers who are viewing this video right now. I would like to appreciate your efforts, and also be blessed and stay tuned into the YouTube channel itself and also for the upcoming videos. Thank you so much.